All right, let's get her going. It's the real Kyper Bourne show. We're live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available at your convenience if you can't catch us live, which I think you all do. Sometimes we don't catch ourselves live.
What did we say today?
Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, where if you're not in that chat, man, you are missing something.
Things are happening.
It's wild in there.
It is?
Oh, yeah. I'm on it. I keep an eye.
You do?
You just dip your toe in, like in the piranhas
Can
bite
you
it off
just-
sort of thing?
I'll send a little comment in there.
Can you say hi to everybody for us?
Hi.
And let's, if they can start us off with just, a couple thumbs up.
Hi, everybody.
We'd love it.
Everybody. I can't spell
Dr.
it.
Nick?
Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Frank the Tank Baraska, Derek Brandeo with you for the next 2 hours. I know we got to do maybe a couple minutes on the Leafs, whatever you're feeling, but this is all tied in because the Edmonton Oilers officially fired Kris Knoblauch, which means there's a bit of a race going on right now for a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And
In Canada.
we'll put Toronto, Edmonton, and the LA Kings as what are they looking for? What are they thinking? Who goes first?
Mm-hmm.
Who will appease their fan base fastest if someone goes after, I don't know, Bruce Cassidy?
I think we need to address the elephant in the room. Are the Oilers going to hire Craig Berube? I think that's the biggest question of all for the day that we need to address.
Are people suggesting
Are
that?
you joking or are you serious?
I am joking, but I am seeing people seriously ask it.
Oh, my God.
So I think no chance in heck.
I would agree.
I am seeing out there that people are the requirements for what they're after in Edmonton. I think it was Jack Michaels who tweeted that it's going to be, or maybe it was Bob Stauffer who's going to join us later today, that they're going to hire someone with experience who's won before with some gravitas.
I don't think it's crazy to explore or think about a guy that can just come in and maybe put the hammer down. Like Edmonton, they have to win.
They have to win.
They have to win next year.
Berube's come in, been the head coach, and won.
It's not just Edmonton has to win next year.
You just want it to happen?
Kind of.
It's not just that Edmonton has to win next year. They have to win and keep Connor McDavid. There's two things at stake here. And we'll get into this as well with Bob Stauffer in 30 minutes?
Can I just, before we move on, that's such a dangerous place, right? The Canucks admitted that they did things to keep Quinn Hughes, lost Quinn Hughes, then have the baggage that came with a thing they didn't want to do, but they did for Quinn. So if you're doing things for Connor, is scary.
And we'll get into
maybe doing things for Austin.
We'll get into the Vancouver story a little later, but that's
yeah, they're doing a press conference right now.
Hot button topic. Are you going to listen while you listen to us? Can you do that? Can you walk and chew gum?
No. He can't.
No. I don't know.
You want to stream it? We can just go to that so we don't have to talk. Play them.
Hey, Sammy, why don't you tell us about your thoughts on Twins while we're watching the Sedins being introduced as co-presidents of the Vancouver Canucks?
Okay, we'll just push that one down for a little while still.
Co stands for couple. They got a couple.
Chris Wideman, former National Hockey League defenseman, Habs, Sens, Oilers, and Panthers. So he'll have a little bit on what to think about maybe the Oilers as well. And their head coach, of course, Montreal and Buffalo get going once again. Big night.
So since we are in the Leafs hour, and, I guess kind of Leafs half hour right now, have you given more thought into the potential candidates?
I have. Have you, Kip?
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Like I said now, because Edmonton is now out there, the Leafs, everybody wants to say they want to do their due diligence, take their time, but there's a sense of, I don't know, maybe racing to something. The problem is, and I'll use this as an example for Edmonton now, is that you've shown your cards. You went after Bruce Cassidy.
Yeah.
Totally.
You got to get Bruce Cassidy.
You have to get him.
Yes, you have to get him.
Because you had to fire your coach because you went after Bruce Cassidy.
No.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did, but that's not the reason.
Okay.
I say you have to get Bruce Cassidy because he is your first choice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fail, if you let the Leafs get him, if you let the LA Kings get him, then all you look like is you couldn't get it done.
Well, and you're clearly at the prom, not with the girl you asked. You got your second choice, your third choice.
So how much, I guess they're probably going to fire Knoblauch anyway, but how much of the timing?
I don't know that they were, Sam.
You don't think so?
I think it was like feel out interest, and if it's not there, we're pretty content with this guy.
And
you think?
I do.
I do too.
Really?
And not confirmed, but
what you hear, not you know?
The decision was right from the top.
That, hey, we got to look into this guy. He's available. He's
just in terms of maybe firing Knoblauch. I think the hammer came down, and it may have come right from the owner.
Well, hey, if he's willing to spend the money, what's it to everyone else? I mean,
3 years. He hasn't even started a new contract.
You had 3 more years?
Kris Knoblauch had 3 more years. Berube, 2 more years.
Man, and Berube are just on a yacht somewhere.
I got to tell you, being a fired coach has got to be the dream job.
Best.
Like, what's he making? $3 million? $4 million?
He went to the finals twice.
Yeah, no, he deserves
right?
the money.
But now he's
got
just
coming.
like, oh, I don't have to do anything, and I get to.
Well, and also you kind of get to pick your next opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if you'll be doing TV, but
it cushions.
You probably will if I know.
It cushions the blow.
Cushion? That's a nice cushion.
That's a really nice
That
cushion.
is suede, velvet. What's expensive?
How long before you see Craig Berube on TNT?
Not long.
Oh, he'll be great there.
Oh, right there.
Maybe even for the
Charming
finals. Like,
Hey,
he might be doing it soon.
Did you see I don't know who did the meme of Berube in the Sheldon Keefe video with the ocean behind him?
Leafs
Lake
Nation.
Ontario. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, as much as sometimes you hate it,
It's good stuff out there.
Some funny stuff out there.
You people are very funny.
So you think that what the question I was going to ask is that the Leafs firing Berube, do you think that had an impact on the Oilers firing Knoblauch in terms of getting the jump to be able to get
not as much as the leakage of shopping for Bruce Cassidy.
Okay.
I'm not saying it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But
because I'm getting Sonny Maeda vibes here, where the Leafs fire their general manager in Brad Treliving, and the number one story we have in the market is, oh, the Leafs love Sonny Maeda. They love Sonny Maeda. And then 2 days later, Devils fire Tom Fitzgerald, then hire Sonny Maeda out from underneath the Leafs' nose. It kind of feels like that could happen with Bruce Cassidy here, even though he probably wants to go there, much like Sonny wanted to go to the Devils, but I'm getting the same vibe.
You sent me today, our partners at Bet365 put out the odds for coaches for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it.
I have not.
Oh, great. This is going to be fun. Front runner Bruce Cassidy at plus 225. Second odds, Bruce Boudreau plus 400. David Carl plus 550. John Gruden, the American Hockey League coach for the Marlies, plus 550 as well. Gerard Gallant, Manny Malhotra at plus 650. Dean Evison. Jay Woodcroft plus 1,000. Kris Knoblauch plus 1,200.
No.
And then the name Sam wants to talk about.
Jeff Halpern? No.
Halpern.
I just sent you a screenshot. I could look at the actual
could be farther down.
But,
okay.
The name that Sam wanted to bring up. I'll let him have it.
Patrick Waugh?
Your boy.
Yeah.
If you had gotten the team you thought you were,
Yeah.
not to do too much here, but you like Waugh.
I do. I do. I don't know how much.
Could he wear the blue and white after all those years as a?
Oh, I think he
At
could.
the end.
I think he could.
Oh, that would. Oh,
I got to tell you,
I think he could.
few things sweeter than seeing Patrick Waugh
It's a
behind the
name.
Leafs bench at the Bell
It's a
Center.
name.
That would be, like, do you think, I mean, I think there's a few guys that you could go out there and hire that are officially like a statement. I think hiring Patrick Waugh is like a real statement. Like, is that Chaika is that what he wants to do for his first hire, is hire Patrick Waugh? But gotta be electric.
I don't think that lines up with who we think Chaika is.
No?
I tend to agree with that.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think Waugh.
And I think he's come a long way
Yeah,
from
yeah.
being a real kind of my way or the highway kind of guy,
For sure.
stubborn. I think he learned a lot going from Colorado to being off to the junior push,
The Ramparts. Yep.
Ramparts, working with young kids. I didn't mind him in the island.
I didn't either. I thought he was a good culture setter for them.
Yeah.
And I liked that the Islanders, who at times kind of get treated as second-class
Yeah.
team, I liked that they had someone who was proud and bold
Yeah.
like that.
The other thing, too, for me is he'll come in still with that reputation, Hall of Fame, Stanley Cup champion. I think he kind of pushes down a little bit Matt's. He's bigger. He's bigger than Matt's.
He's one of the biggest characters
As
in
an
the game.
ex-player, he's like bigger than life for a lot of us in that era. And I think if you come this far with Matt's being that ex-player feel, I don't know if there's enough room for Patrick Waugh and Matt's.
My problem is that
That's
he's too
interesting.
much like Berube. Like he is not a X's and O's technical guy necessarily. He's a motivator.
Yeah.
Which is what Berube was. That's kind of the same idea. He's a famous person, been
Very famous, yeah.
been in the league,
Yeah.
like he's a presence, but I don't know that he's like,
And again, Craig Berube, I've got a long history with him as well, playing against him, rooming with him, being in Hershey with him. I was just very surprised that we didn't see more of taking a hard line. And the biggest one for me, guys, and I saw it like early in the season, was just this strange relationship he had with Willie Nylander, where like when Willie was going, he's going, and we joked around and we played those clips, and I leave Willie alone, and all of that. And
That's Willie.
and it just, to me,
It's Willie.
when you needed at times to play a little bit of that hard line, and to a lesser extent with others, I just didn't see it.
I asked this sincerely. What NHL superstars get leaned on by head coaches in today's day and age?
Patrick Waugh, Barzal.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
Jim Montgomery with Pasta.
Was he
in the
hard on
playoffs.
Pasta?
Yeah, then he got fired next year.
Yeah.
So, it didn't
So did
necessarily-
Waugh.
Yeah, so did Waugh.
It does-
That's the chat line.
But it does.
There's probably more.
But it does seem like a
Examples.
recipe for
It's-
pushing it to you or me, and the team always is like
JB,
the star,
it's
please.
way tougher
Yeah.
Just leave
today
him alone.
for coaches to go to their star players, because they have more power. They know where their power
Power has
is.
shifted.
The no moves have changed
Long contracts,
The
so
complete
you're worth more money.
climate of trades and how we treat these star players.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Craig felt that, or I can't lose Willie. I don't know what
And
it
he's
was.
not wrong. You couldn't have success without Willie, but yeah, it did feel early on like they went head to head, and then Willie
Willie
came out
wanted
on
more
top.
ice time,
Yeah, I remember
Right?
he like
Willie
came
wanted
out
more ice
and
time.
said that he wanted more ice time,
and he got it,
and then he did get it.
and he got it.
He did score 40 goals.
Great numbers.
But
Yeah,
Under
he scored 40 goals.
Yeah.
But others would have said, well, you know how it works, right? You play better, you work harder, you get more ice time.
Yeah.
You just don't get it because you ask for it.
I do think that if there's one thing for a coach that's actually really hard about this market, would be benching players here.
Yeah.
I think here, if you sit down, I remember we had when Marner got benched for a couple of shifts by Keith,
Couple
it was like a referendum.
We've been
Like,
talking about it for years.
I think that aspect of coming in here and being like, I'm going to sit down Willie for, especially this past year when their team reeked and he was one of the only real threats that they had at a lot of times. It's harder for him to be like, I'm going to sit him down, because then it's a 24-hour
The
conversation.
one thing I want to see happen when I'm talking about accountability is that at the end of a hockey game where the Leafs need a goal, I would like to see the players on the ice who have played well that night, who have their legs, who are involved it's always Willie. And, there's some games he's just not going, and that should be handled as such. So I don't need him benched. I just like to see other people elevated when they're playing better.
Yeah. I'll go back to like Brendan Shanahan, and I'll give him some credit too here, because there was that one incident with Kadri where something happened. It never really came out publicly, but he essentially suspended him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
And he had also gone through a couple of stages where, big suspensions and playoffs and all of that, and people were get rid of him and all of that. But I think, and I didn't particularly know if Kadri put this in his book or not, but like for me personally, that was a fork in the road for Kadri. And I don't know where he feels about that today.
Yeah.
But could have been a big part of why he kind of straightened out and gotten himself one hell of a career, and maybe on the brinks of another Stanley Cup in Colorado.
Yeah. No, it's important to have those moments.
Another guy that's been kind of making the rounds I've seen in media. I haven't had him on our show, but Laviolette has kind of been popping up here a little bit too. When was the last? Was that he the Rangers coach last year? Or was that 2 years ago?
A couple years ago, he's been among my top 10 interviews we've done on this show, where he's really thoughtful and smart. But he is surly, and he is American.
Yep.
And
funny.
What?
I don't know. We talk about coaches, and
doesn't matter.
The second thing out of your list is he's American.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't remember that in past when you talk about it's like, oh,
who's the best guy?
He's there, but it's a thing.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a thing now. An American coming to coach in Canada.
It feels more in the last year and a half or so, the climate has changed.
I wonder why.
What's happening? What?
Yeah. There are some things that have shifted. Like Canadians aren't even going to the U.S. at the same rate they used to go. Like
I'm totally with you.
I'm not saying the division is permanent or it's whatever. I'm just saying right now it would feel hard to be like, bring one of the coaches from the American team that just won gold to coach our city's team.
And let's not forget, it's just not you. It could be a wife and kids who are looking at Canada in a much different light than they would have 2 years ago.
Some of them want to avoid it forever, and some want to flee here now. It's, depends where you stand on certain issues.
But I just, all these names that are coming out, like you sent a tweet today about Malhotra that got Canucks fans really mad.
Yeah, they're mad at me.
I mean, it's not hard to get
They're
them
mad at you.
They're mad at me because I asked the question, hey, what's up with them finishing 27-40 and almost dead last in the American League this year? Like, seems like a relevant detail on the coach.
Did he get dumb in a year?
No, their roster was brutalized with injuries. The Canucks were hurt. Everyone got called up. They used 6 goalies and 18 D-men, and they didn't have the same roster, which are relevant and important details. But again, it's on his resume. They were not good this year. They had some hardship, and it didn't go well. I think it's worth discussing. The other thing I'll note about Malhotra, he was the assistant coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs for a few years.
Do you remember? I barely remember it because they don't talk. They're hardly shown on TV.
One of the things
I can't even.
One of them he was shown on TV for a while.
Well, Elliott made one a savvy meter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He
was an assistant here for 4
that
full
made Mark
seasons.
Savard very famous.
4 full seasons from 2021 to 2023.
And I may have lost this article I had up, but in looking into Malhotra and his time here, one of the details was that he ran the power play. It did not go well with Matthews on it, Nylander, whatever, and they took it away from him and gave it to Spencer Carberry, who did so well with it that he ended up a head coach in the league. So now you're going to make him the head coach and go back to the same guys, Nylander and Matthews, and say, hey, this guy who couldn't run the power play a couple years ago is your head coach now. That, to me, is a tough ask. Relevant detail, no?
Totally. They know him.
And I don't know. They had good years. They had success. They probably like him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it wasn't all
Yes.
lollipops and roses and unicorns.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you bring up a valid point.
However, people like this man. He had a very credible career. The way he played was honorable. They like him. He won a Calder Cup as a head coach in the American League.
For the record, though, when we start talking about GMs and there's ample reasons to look at someone's history from trades or just success and go,
what was that one?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
And you're like, next thing you know, there's a press conference.
Yeah. Well, and no, but this is the testament that it's hard. And it's like baseball, where if you strike out 7 out of 10 times and get a hit the other 3 times, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
It's like failure is a part of professional sports, so everyone has some on their resume.
And a learning curve, right? The
right.
learning curve.
And so it's not disqualifying, but it's not irrelevant information. That's all I'm saying. Canucks fans, chill out.
No, they don't. That's not in there.
You know what part of it is? That they're concerned that they've been like grooming him to be the next Canucks head coach, and they're worried the Leafs are going to snap him up just like they did the first overall pick.
Oh, yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah.
I really believe that the ball's in Bruce Cassidy's court right now for the Edmonton Oilers.
You do, eh?
I do.
So he'll do it. Vegas to Edmonton, that's a tough lifestyle switch.
Would Vegas, are they going to allow it to happen? Can they block
first
it?
of all, they fired the guy.
Yeah.
Okay? They fired him.
But they're
you don't get to fire a guy and then
deny permission?
Just tell him we're not going to allow you to be a head coach somewhere else.
Why do they get to at all? Because they're still paying him.
No, it's not. This is strictly my opinion, okay? You're not really supposed to go and bother a team when they're still in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And
interesting.
I don't know whether or not that was a factor or not, but I've talked to enough teams to go, listen, not a good time right now.
Yeah, hey, game 6 is tonight.
Yeah.
We kind of need this one.
Yeah.
Could we maybe discuss this at a better time for me?
And it could be simply as that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're not dealing with this right now. So that's where it was the deny word.
No. The permission was withheld.
Withheld.
For maybe that day or that hour or that like just
10 minutes.
Can we just right now? Can you just calm it down?
It's like I often saying to my kids, like I'm not saying no, they're just not getting an answer right now.
So they're still paying him, and it's always about a negotiation. And this is where like I don't understand why the coaches would ever allow this, but like when a player gets bought out, he gets that money plus new money on a new contract.
I love where you're going with this.
And where in the coaches did anybody ever come up with
screw job?
I'll fire you. I'm paying you to stay home, but once they want you, I get all this money off the books.
Why? What sense does that make? You've committed this money to me. You said I can't work for you anymore and you're going to pay me. That's my money. If I go earn other money, you've already said you don't want me. Don't worry about me. You got no control now.
Every company does it. There's buyouts, there's packages, there's still money on the table for a lot of people in business when employees say we don't want your service anymore, but we still owe you this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case with the coaches.
Not a good deal.
It's a horrible deal.
Very bad deal.
Right?
Great deal for
they've got a
this
coaches.
is why people fire.
They have
coaches.
a coaches
like,
association, but like, can someone stand up in that association for some of these guys?
Yeah.
And like, but I don't know if it's like really run like a union type. It's just more like hey, we're here for you.
We're the association.
Golf tournament this summer.
So, yeah, I guess so. They probably won't make any decisions until Vegas is.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe it's Bruce Cassidy that has to really kind of lean in on this.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that there's a few clubs out there, including LA, that want some answers out of Vegas.
Yeah.
You think Cassidy would want, or Vegas want, or LA would want Cassidy as well?
It has to be an option. It has to be a thought for sure. If you're Cassidy and you're trying to win a Stanley Cup, I mean, is not Connor and Leon the most enticing?
You know,
it's easy. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, that's the best chance of the Leafs LA and Edmonton. It's the best of those three.
There's long-term concern in Edmonton. Like, if they need to make significant changes to get better to win next year, and if they don't, all of a sudden you're holding the bag and you're, what's his name with the Rangers? Sullivan. Connor's left, and it's, you've got no picks, and it can get bleak fast if you don't get it done next year. But I appreciate chasing the Cups.
And I mean, I think Casti could be one of those fast burn guys anyway. Like, I think he was in, how many years was he in Boston? 5?
Oh, he's completely that guy where you come in, I need you to win now because you have a 3-year shelf life.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't offer him any more than 3 years. And he shouldn't want any more than 3 years as well.
For the reasons that he just brought up.
For the reasons that he brought up.
Yeah.
But you need to pay me through the nose for those 3 years.
Take 18. 6 million.
I don't know if he'll get that much.
No? Guys, I mean,
how much did Babs get again?
He got 6.5 per year.
Yeah,
times
he was
8
up
years.
around 50 million.
He got 50 mil.
But he rang the bell.
It was actually like the Marner RFA contract where everyone went, this is going to raise the pay for everyone else, and everyone else is like, no, it won't. That's not
Babs.
That's outside the reasonable level.
Got the cash,
which is good.
Quick Jay's thought.
I like the hat.
Thank you.
Is that your Jay's thought?
I spent some money on this at the Dome yesterday. It's really reasonably.
It's good. You needed a hat.
Jay's shop's super reasonably priced.
It is.
No, I just.
It's actually I like the
thank
50
you.
on it.
Yeah. So Jeff Hoffman comes into the game last night, and I don't like. I've been to a lot of different sporting events and seen a lot of different things. I'm not sure I have felt a vibe shift like I felt in the building when he runs out, and like
Jake Gardner.
It's. I mean, half the building got up and left. Like, legitimately.
Stop it.
Like, they do like his little light show day and night, and everybody's like holding up their things, and half the people are getting up and heading for the exits. It's just people are groaning at him. And he's not, like, he's obviously been brutal to start. They had the moment. It's just, I actually feel awful for him because he was 2 outs away from being an all-time hero. He was nails leading up to it. I've just never experienced anything like it in person.
Miggy.
It's crazy how much people can't stand him. It's sad. I feel for him. That's what I'm saying. I feel bad for Jeff Hoffman. I know not a lot of people want to hear that, but I feel bad for the guy. There you go.
Is he your new Mitch Marner?
No. Listen. I'm gonna save it.
We can't.
I'm gonna save it.
We can't say that name.
I'm gonna save it.
It should be like we should get electric shocks when that name comes up on the show.
And I witnessed one of the only 5 walk-off grand slams in Blue Jays history. Steve Pearce had 2 in 1 week. Pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Good day at the Dome.
Blue Jays with Sammy McKee.
We got the Stauffer coming up. Bob Stauffer.
Host of Oilers Now on Ched. Also does a great job on the Oilers radio as a color commentator. We'll get more answers out of Stauffer when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back in studio. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. We got Bob. Where's Bob
What about
on his
Bob?
way? We've got Bob. Let's welcome in Bob Stauffer. Does a great job out west. It's Oilers Now on Ched. Also color commentator for Oilers Radio. Staff, how are you, my friend?
Oh, it's been a
awesome.
challenging last couple
Hey,
days.
what a great country we live in, eh? When you can go 24/7 on just NHL news, bud. Hey?
Yeah. I think you know this, Nick and Justin, but I've known Kris Knoblauch for 25 years. I did his games at the University of Alberta. We've had him on Oilers Now since 2010 when he went to Kootenay. Was really a defensive coach at that time. They won the WHL title, and then Braden McNabb blew up Joey Hishin in one of the first games of the tournament and got derailed his team at the Memorial Cup. And as you guys both know, the Oilers assisted Sherry Bassett in Erie for a while, and Sherry took a particular liking to Kris, and that's how he ended up in Erie. And he became the first major junior coach in history to win 4 consecutive 50-plus win seasons. So we've known Kris for a while, and his family, and unfortunately we had a year where there was some tracer fire at different points during the season. That when Stan Bowman said, a week ago on Saturday, that he needed to do some evaluation further on the team, that you knew that this might be the end result. So tough day today, is somewhat understandable. Kris will be fine. He's probably going to get another head coaching opportunity down the road. But there's some factors that sort of worked against him and against the team this year. But the bottom line is you can't have Connor McDavid referring to the team as, an average team, and the two best players, Connor and Leon, at different times, holding, and I applaud them for it, but holding the organization's feet to the fire and saying, hey, we got to do better. So they're going to attempt to do that, and that's part of the reason why they made the change.
Bob, no question on everything you said, including the process of evaluation. But once news came out that Bruce Cassidy was being discussed by the Edmonton Oilers, unfortunately for Kris, he was cooked. There was not a chance you could bring him back into the dressing room after that leak.
Well, yeah, and I have no idea where that came from, but the reality of the situation is, we had Elliot on the show. He's on our show. I know he does your guys' show, and he's on once a week with me, and he says it's this simple. Bruce Cassidy's the best coach out there available in the market, and that's his perspective. And, he would talk to a wide array of managers in the league, and we'll see, ultimately what happens with Vegas. But I'm going to tell you right now that, Kris didn't replace Glenn Gulletson off his staff, and nor Paul Coffey at the start of the year. He had a very similar staff, and there were some rough stretches for the team. Was, like in 23-24, Kris came in. He was the right coach at the right time for the team. His calm demeanor settled things down. They banged off 8 and 16 game winning streaks. They had great advanced metrics, and he deployed a lot of different players in different roles, and we went for the 7th game of the Stanley Cup. People forget last year, in 24-25, the Oilers for 3 months, from November the 9th until the Four Nations face-off, were the best team in the league. Like, they had some real sustained run there. And, a little bit banged up, and Florida was deeper in the final and lost in 6. Great experiences either way. This year, this team never had that kind of juice the entire year. They never had longer than, a 3-game winning streak until like the final 6 or 7 games of the year, where they won 5 in a row. So there were some challenges the entire year. There were some missteps along the way. They really missed Gulletson. They missed Paul Coffey. They had to bring Paul back after the Olympic break. And it's unfortunate that, stuff happens, but it's an industry where people talk. And result here, I see Edmonton going in a very different path with a much more experienced coach, likely with some Stanley Cup pedigree carrying forward.
So I don't think it's reading too much in that to say Cassidy. Do you have other coaches like that in mind as you say it?
Well, I don't think, I don't know what's going to happen with the permission request, according to what Frank Saravalli reported in Vegas. I have no idea how it's going to play itself out. But I would have to think, would Peter Laviolette make sense? Which would be a tough pill in Edmonton because he beat the Oilers in the 06 final, but he took the Flyers and the Predators to the Stanley Cup final as well. I know this would seem quite ironic given what happened yesterday in Toronto, but what about Craig Berube? He's from Calahoo, Alberta. I mean, I played against Todd Ewan growing up, and Craig and Todd were on a line once with Cliff Ronning, which I would have to think made Cliff Ronning the single safest man in the Western Hockey League. But, I wonder, like, Craig's won a Stanley Cup. Would he merit some consideration? I think if a guy's had some success and a coach that's got some gravitas with some attention to detail, strong, structure and process in the game, for me, preferably a guy that coaches zone D. That's my own, sort of thing. I think I could foresee a scenario where maybe a coach like that I think they needed a different type of coach for where the Oilers are at. Connor McDavid signing the 2-year extension at $12.5 million. They are still, I know they had a disappointing season. I know a lot of people think their goaltending is nowhere near good enough to get to the mix. Well, I mean, I'm just looking at it here. They got to the Stanley Cup final in 23-24 with the 17th ranked save percentage in the league, and the Stanley Cup final in 24-25 with the 16th ranked save percentage in the league, average goaltending. So, I still think they're in their window, and they, you can't change out all the players. So maybe you change out and bring in a veteran coach.
You're watching and listening to Bob Stauffer, who does a great job covering the Edmonton Oilers for Ched, also a radio color commentator. Just to reiterate, as if we didn't know, Connor had 2 years left on his contract. Leon made it abundantly clear with his words postseason that they essentially have 2 years left to get significantly better. Connor talking about things getting rather thin in terms of where it's all heading here. Is it safe to say, Staff, that the Edmonton Oilers fans are on notice, and Leon and Connor put them on notice? This is maybe even less than 2 years. Like, one way or another, could there be a fork in the road after next season?
I think you have to be pragmatic. I mean, you guys are experiencing the same thing in Toronto right now with Austin Matthews. I mean, also represented by Judd Moldaver. I mean, and I'm going to provide a perspective for you. Moldaver has Connor and Austin. He's got Zach Werenski, and he's got Roman Josi. Those are the four best players on their respective teams. The only difference is the Oilers do have Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. And not everybody in the, in Toronto might believe me on this, but I'm here to tell you the Oilers have three superstar players. So they have two other superstars other than Connor. That helps. I don't know how much movement they can actually make to their roster. Stan Bowman accepted accountability today and said some of the bets they made, some of the players they picked up did not perform at the level that they thought that they were gonna. And he said, and I quote, "That's on him." And our fan base is intense. We've had an incredible run over the last, the Oilers have played 14 playoff series in the last 5 years. They've won 9. Like, that's never happened in Vancouver, Ottawa, or Calgary history, but they haven't won the ultimate prize. So, in spite of the fact that, McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard are the top 3 scoring players in the playoffs over the last 5 years, Edmonton's on the outside looking in, and they need to make an adjustment. And one of the easiest things to do is to make the coaching change. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I look at Toronto, and I wonder whether or not, given where they might be headed, if Kris Knoblauch or Jay Woodcroft would make sense there, knowing what I know about Kris and Jay. So, younger coaches that would rely on analytics to a certain degree. But, I think Edmonton's at a different point and needs a different voice, and that's part of the reason why this came to fruition.
Our daily coaches clips can't handle Kris Knoblauch. I know he's your pal, and I'm sure he's great on your show, but he's just not a dynamic individual, Stuff.
Well, and Justin,
yeah,
that's fair, and that's an area that Kris needed to improve on. And believe me when I say this, it was brought to his attention.
Is that right?
And some might sit there and watch that and think, does that extend into communication with the players?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and I'll give you a clear illustration of this is in Game 4, the disputed goal that Anaheim got credit for in overtime, and the officials were initially out of position on it, and they didn't, the puck disappeared, and should the play have been blown dead? Well, the league said, we got the right call in the end, and so I kind of think that Knoblauch might have had a freebie in Game 5, and the Oilers are up 4-1, and Leon Draisaitl, who's been the best playoff player in the league over the last 5 years, the most consistent player, this year he's on a, similar type of injury to Sidney Crosby at the Olympics, comes back and puts up 10 points in 6 games, and he gets cross-checked, into the boards from behind. That's a 5-minute major in the regular season. There's no penalty. If I'm Kris, I got a chance to show some frustration. I watched Joel Quenneville lose it. I see, on a non-icing call, Rod Brindamore, these guys are seasoned coaches, and I think sometimes a coach has to show a little bit of emotion.
It's like a baseball manager getting ejected.
Yeah, right. But and what you say is totally fair. I think he would have to become more dynamic. Mm-hmm. And if I'm, and I'm going to talk to him about it, like that's something you got to work on with your next gig. Absolutely.
One more for me, Staff, and I'm throwing this out there. Why don't they just hire Paul Coffey behind the bench? Clearly, he was instrumental in them going to a final. He leaves. They feel like, oh, we need him back. Okay, he comes back. Just name him head coach, for God's sakes.
All right, where did I put my sheet here? Do you want to know how bad it was before they brought him back? In the final 3 weeks before the Olympics, the Oilers went 3-5. They should have gone 1-7 because they stormed Oiler-like comebacks in a couple games. They were last in goals against, last in the penalty kill, below 60%, and last in save percentage at .830. Damn straight they needed to bring back Paul Coffey. They needed to do something different. Mark Stewart, who was relieved of his duty state, great guy, had never been a head coach before and was taking on both the defense and the penalty kill. And Paul came back, and he is unorthodox. He's not going to have his head jammed into a computer. So what? Still got to be able to communicate differently today. And he can do that. Like, yeah, he's not going to pull out the iPad on the bench, but he does know how to breed confidence into a player. So I don't know if Paul's an option. He's never been a head coach before. But I do know this, there will be an experienced man being the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. You can 100% guarantee that. We won't have a first-time NHL head coach behind the bench.
Okay, Staff, we're still in our Leaf Hour edition, technically. So what do you know about Morgan Rielly for Darnell Nurse? Let's go.
I've not heard about that at all. I've wondered a bit about San Jose. And I will also tell you that since we're in the Leafs Hour, I cannot believe, with all due respect to the OHL, which is a good league, the WHL is a shadow of its former self. I wasn't good enough to play in the WHL. There's 12 teams in the early 80s. There's 23 teams now, and there's like 10 or 11 million people in Western Canada. There's how many teams in the OHL right now? 20? And you guys got 14 million people, and you get better American players. I can't believe that anybody would look past McKenna, Verhoff, and Stenberg for the top 3 spots because they simply played against way stiffer competition, and I think it has to be factored in. So that's my diatribe. I don't even think I answered your question.
I'm glad you got it in, though. We needed that.
It's all right. It's all right. You made my producer happy. I know that.
Right. No, and as for this trade, I bring this up because of San Jose. If I was San Jose at 2, they got Dickinson, that's a left shot. They've got obviously Celebrini, and they got Smith, they got Misa, who's going to be really damn good. If I'm them, I'm taking Verhoff all day at 2, but I'm watching San Jose because they've got oodles of cap space, and they don't have any defensemen signed. And part of me is thinking, does somebody offload a contract to San Jose at some point? So I've not heard this Rielly for Nurse flip myself, but I won't denigrate the source because the source has been right on stuff in the past, just like Frank has on his report involving Vegas and Cassidy. So I guess we'll see what happens. maybe the time has come for a change for a couple different guys. To be honest with you, I thought Darnell played pretty well in the Anaheim series. Thought he and Connor Murphy had a real good connection. And the Chicago guys, all three of them, Dickinson's got the pain threshold of a cadaver. He was in immense pain. I'm sure, I don't know, Nick, if you took Toradol or whatever, but he was fighting it, it was painful seeing him on the plane, like just how badly he wanted to play. And Murphy was really good. And even Colton Dach came in and gave the Oilers some juice further down the lineup. So, we'll see. Is it out of the realm of possibilities? Probably not. I think teams are going to have to get creative and be flexible.
For the record, I was just slow as a turtle.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Stuff. Great stuff, buddy. Really appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Stauffer.
Bob
Appreciate
Stauffer.
it.
You bet.
Covers the Edmonton Oilers.
Riley for Nurse.
Oh, you didn't hear that one?
It's on the lines.
I've seen it.
The web kids are saying it.
There might have been a phone call on something like that. I don't think it ever materialized or got serious. But that's you throw stuff out there between clubs.
The people do who says no. They throw out a trade and says who says no, and that's how you figure it out. Who says yes in that one?
What's the first lose trade in NHL history?
Who says yes to that? Do the Oilers think Morgan Riley helps them get over the hump? Leafs want
I'll
to
tell you what,
pay $2 more million.
I save $2 more million if you're the Oilers, and they're both struggling. Come on, let's face it. Both fan bases
How
have
long is
guys
Nurse under contract?
that feel like a change is in order.
I'm on
and
board.
We've talked about this too. We've talked about that switch, but
Nurse is till
I think
2039 to 5.
Yeah, I think Nurse would struggle here too.
Yeah, if you're going to trade Riley for another struggling contract, make it Pettersson.
Make it cheaper.
Yeah, you don't want to do what Edmonton did with their goalie situation. Say our goalie's a problem. What if we paid him more for longer and got the same goaltending?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
God, by the way, Kyper, nice call on Kulak.
Oh yeah. You're just hyping up your boy Kulak.
Hey, that's the way you win Stanley Cups.
Can I tell you the best part of his overtime goal? It's not the stick on he breaks up a 2-on-1, right? But it's not that. It's the first 3 strides he takes after that. Because the guy who doesn't get the pass keeps skating, he hits the brakes and jumps the other way. Boom, boom, boom. 3 strides to get going up ice. All of a sudden, you got guys on your back.
Yeah.
Odd man rush.
Lands on his stick in the absolute sweet spot.
He put himself in the sweet spot.
Shoots it home.
Outside of that, Nate McKinnon.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
It was last night.
I know
it was so Michael Jordan. Get him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Last play of the game, get him the puck. He wanted it. He misses that shot. Game over, right? Short side, rings around, but ends up ringing around.
Shooting that puck is a terrible decision.
It was money.
Terrible. It's like you got a full 24-second clock in the NBA and a guy shooting a half-court shot, and he makes it, and you go,
That's how you end up a living legend.
Totally. It's unbelievable. He put it in a puck-sized hole under the bar.
Jordan-like.
Okay, so let me make this super depressing. There was 2 separate results last night that if they happened at different times in the last year, it would have made all of our lives a lot better. Dalton Varsho hit a walk-off grand slam last night. He had an opportunity to do that in the World Series. And Nathan McKinnon shot one in from the sideboards that was a way less empty net. If he had done that in February, we all would have been a lot more happy too. So 2 things happened last night that brought back horrible memories.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They both did better the second time.
They did.
Try again. But honestly, that McKinnon, the goalie was square to him. He's stationary on the sideboards. The defense isn't moving. He didn't shoot it for a rebound. It was
he wants it so badly.
I know he does.
It's like, give it to me. Give it to me.
Denied. He's
sometimes, yeah. No, I know. He's a force. He scored in 6 straight games now.
He's a freak.
You see, the flipper stuff that Biz tried to talk to him with a snorkel on TNT.
I didn't.
But he's
he's
been swimming his whole career.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was about.
He called.
It's part of what he is.
He used the word proprioception, which is where you are in space. If you're doing a flip, being able to be aware of where you are. He says that swimming like that helps him kind of balance that, get better at that.
God, he just
Works on
follows that up with his chickpea pasta.
I hear-
and goes
I
to bed
hear-
at 9
Bar down,
p.m.
pal.
I hear the money he spends on just trying to make himself better
Yeah.
is off the charts.
Is that right?
He's a
A lot of
freak.
respect for that. You got to invest in it. It
Chefs,
comes back to him.
nutrition.
Is he? What, has he
uh,
ever got paid though?
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of the most
No, he got-
underpaid guys
he was,
forever.
but then he got a big one.
Yeah, but only
no,
12 or something.
no. He's
Well, he's
never
underpaid,
hit.
but-
They never timed it well, but he took a bad contract that put him behind the 8 ball for
What the heck is he?
earlier in his career, and
He's only 12-6 till
he's
2031.
He's kind of chased it.
This
he
is
kind of
it's like
chased
Brad
it.
Marchand. He's going to spend his
Just
entire
never-
career as the most underpaid guy
Yeah,
in the league.
he never hit it.
I'll pray for his family that he'll be able to make it through.
Terrell's making 17. Nate the Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the best player in the league, and I make 12.6.
Buddy.
I hate these takes.
Connor McDavid or
Well below what he's worth.
Sidney Crosby, never the highest paid guy on his team,
And you know what? People love him for it, and he's rich beyond his wildest dreams.
and he's going to the
Doesn't
World
mean he was
Championships.
fairly paid.
And he's not the captain.
Oh, we'll have a talk about that when we go national next.
Trash.
Real Kyper and Bourne. Don't go away. All right, just warming up here on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show as we go national. We are live on Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we love the chats. We love a thumbs up if you can provide us one.
Please do.
This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Kris Wideman, former National Hockey League defenseman, Habs, Sens, Oilers, Panthers, as we get set tonight. Pivotal game in Buffalo, 2-2. Boys,
Can't wait.
only Canadian team left.
You mean the Sabres?
Let's go. Sammy,
What?
you
Canada's
guys
team, baby.
cheer hard for the Montreal Canadiens.
You don't have to. I will.
Don't avoid the
why should
question,
you do that?
Sammy.
Why would I do that? Would you really
Canada,
expect?
baby. Canada.
Come on.
You're so Canadian with the Olympics. You can't be Canadian
You know how much-
for a Stanley Cup.
Do you know how much closer we are to Buffalo than Montreal? It's closer to here.
They're in America, pal.
I don't know. I've been on the Sabres since their mics cut out and they sang the national anthem. I was like, I'm in. They got me. And the funniest part is they would never root for anything Toronto. And I'm like, I like you
I
guys.
think there's also you're like sort of indoctrinated to Buffalo because we got the Bills. Like
Yeah.
the Toronto fans root for the Bills.
And our AAA baseball team is in Buffalo. The Bisons are down there. I don't know. I feel like a connection to them. And the Sabres, I don't know. I haven't liked
right there, baby.
I haven't
Montreal.
liked the dives from Montreal.
Oh, good gracious.
I thought the first period in Montreal was a disgrace, quite frankly.
Buddy, everyone's looking for a call here and there. Montreal's no better or worse.
I disagree.
This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne
I
brought to you by
disagree.
Bet365. All right, does Lindy get a call or two based on a few comments? Does that even work
I
anymore?
know Lindy. I know Lindy was
does
leaning
it
into
work?
it, which I like.
It's very old school. It's very Mike Keenan like.
Appeal to the league. You got to do all you can. Push all the buttons. Let's do it. Let's
Let's play Lindy Ruff's clip there, Derek, on the dives.
Yeah, I see some trends where I know Montreal's got a good power play, but I think they're going down easy. I think it's part of the playoffs. It just is. You know how important a power play can be. So you get a stick on somebody, you got to be careful with your sticks. You know if they have a chance to make the play look worse than it is, they're going to. It's playoff hockey. Every team in this league does it.
Oh, right.
And it's an understanding that keep your stick off them. I mean, the little push that Thompson gave their player, I don't think that's called in the regular season. But in the playoffs, it's called. So tell our guys not to do it.
I thought it was the other way
I was going to say,
around.
in the playoffs, it's called.
Lindy-
That's not how playoffs work.
I love Lindy, man.
I do too. I'm a huge
I love
rough
Lindy.
guy.
I just
He kind of admitted we all do it. But and some are better than others at it.
the one
Michael
that
Bunting and Naz Kadri.
I forget who it was that drew it on the power play that the Sabres already had. The one on Dahlin that got called interference, where Buddy sticks out his leg to initiate the contact and then dives over. And not to disparage our great friends in Montreal, but that fan base there are so electrifying and so horned up for everything that ever happens in a game. They're jumping
They're
up
good
and
for
down.
a call or two. Is that what you're saying?
100%. Because these refs are in this electric building and all these guys are like, and they're like, oh my God, that was a murder. And it's like, meanwhile,
Good
he tripped
work,
over him.
fans. Good
Totally.
work, fans.
But I'm just saying that, like, I think the embellishment combined with the fandom, they get a few extra calls in that building. I've experienced watching a few games there.
Lindy thinks so too, and that's the appeal he's making.
That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
It
Good
doesn't
fans.
help that, for the most part, Montreal, I'm not going to say dominated, but held a significant portion of both games in their control. And more often than not, Buffalo is out of position than Montreal.
Yeah.
And that's Lindy's biggest concern,
Totally.
not the embellishment.
I made this case to Sam.
They're very lucky, Buffalo, right now.
To be in it.
Totally.
Yes, totally agree. It should be
But
3-1.
this reminds me when the Canucks went to the final and played Boston, that they in Vancouver, it was close and they would eke out a win. They'd go to Boston, they'd get filled in. And it kept happening. And it was like, it felt like they were in the series, but they were getting outplayed, and eventually it would go the wrong way, and eventually it did. That feels like this for Buffalo. Like they're hanging on. It's technically 2-2, but if it keeps going this way, they're going to get filled in at some point. It's coming. So, yeah.
We
Play to the refs.
Got a great text from Kathy in Oshawa. All us Hab fans are super happy to hear that Sammy's cheering for the Buffalo Sabres because the teams he cheers for always lose.
Fair.
So
fair.
There you go. There you go,
Fair.
Kathy.
Fair.
Like, what do you call it? The hedge?
The hedge.
Happiness hedge?
No, I'm not going to go that far. I don't know. It's okay.
So there is still the little issue at 5-on-5 where Caulfield has 0 points in playoffs. That's weird. Is it not?
It's tough out there.
And I don't think he's the only one. Slavkovsky also at 0 points in the playoffs at even strength. It's crazy. They played a lot of hockey games for them to be at 0. And they're very good.
It's not like you can't find them out there.
No, they're involved.
They're involved, and they're getting quality chances and shots, and just it's not going in. But as Caulfield even showed on his power play goal, he doesn't need a whole heck of a lot of room, man. Mm. He's got some sweet hands, and he can make some things happen. And the most important thing is the depth players on Montreal, Kirby Dach and Texier.
Newhook's been unbelievable.
Bolduc. They're buying them time.
Yeah, they are.
And those stars, they just need one moment to be a game breaker.
On the other side of things, Alex Tuch in round 1, 4 goals, 7 points, +8. In round 2, 0, -6. So some of the stars are struggling.
Okay, let's welcome in Chris Wideman, former National Hockey League defenseman, Habs, Sens, Oilers, Panthers. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Appreciate it. Big night tonight in Buffalo. Former your team, the Habs. Tell me what's stood out for you in this series as we go into a critical Game 5.
I mean, I'll just echo what you just said. I think that the depth guys have bought a lot of time for the star players to get engaged and start producing. And, you see almost every year that the teams that have success deep in the playoffs get that depth production. So I'm excited for the game tonight. It's been a great series so far, and it'll be a good one.
Yeah, Chris, so you're watching the Montreal Canadiens, and in that place is unbelievable. It looks like a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit about your experience playing in Montreal and how you see that translating to some good playoff hockey right now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch. It's I'd love to be in that building for a game here on Saturday, and just the energy in and outside the building, and then you look at the way the team has played. It's been exciting hockey, and just the energy around it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. As far as two blue lines that are pretty stellar. Dahlin on one side, of course Hutson on the other side, in terms of being that complete 200-foot player for their respective clubs. You played the position. How much do you watch them in particular in a series like this? And who has the upper hand for you in terms of being a game breaker?
Well, I definitely didn't play that position that they play, because they're, that's a different stratosphere. But I've been just fascinated by Hudson's development. Coming into the league as a smaller guy, I certainly felt that as a smaller guy. Getting leaned on by heavier guys that are forechecking and looking to take a bite out of you. He's just. I mean, you watch this guy. I don't know where the holes are. He defends well. He steals more pucks than just about anybody with a stick. And then when he gets the puck, it's you're on the edge of your seat. So he's been great. I got to let my bias show here, and I'll give him the edge. But I think that the defensemen on both sides of this matchup have been a lot of fun to watch, and they get up the ice and produce. And it's the way the game is going, and it's the reason why I no longer play, because I couldn't produce.
Yeah, well, you produced a lot better than most people to be there. The questions with Hutson is like, okay, he's small. When the going gets tough, can he do it? I watched the other series, Colorado, Minnesota, and they beat the hell out of Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar. I don't think if they played another game, I don't know if he'd be playing. Like, Hutson's doing okay. He's just so good at not getting hit, I guess.
He's quick, and I think we all have to remember he's playing for a guy that was of smaller stature and played during a very rough era and is also a Hall of Famer. So I think that Marty's wisdom and coaching has, affected everybody on that roster in a positive light. And, he's probably the only coach that I've ever experienced that can coach each individual, and as well as the team at the same time. So the development of just about everybody in that roster has been amazing. And, you're seeing it now in the second round of the playoffs and hopefully pushing to get through Buffalo.
As far as the goaltending is concerned, Luukkonen comes in and does a pretty remarkable job under the circumstances. Dobish still there. Where do you weigh in the Thompson power play goal in terms of, first of all, we know the odds of it ever happening again, but could we possibly be looking at a moment where we're thinking that maybe the series turned on that goal? Or in your opinion, is it just one of those fluky things and it's past now, Montreal?
I think that what Dobis has shown thus far in the playoffs, he seems to be fairly steady for a rookie goalie. And I would be shocked if that impacts him in his performance. But, if I was a betting man, that stanchion's being replaced at some point here, and they'll move on from that.
Sorry.
I think we just lost your feed a little bit, or you fell asleep on our show, which happens often. But
it was left at like an entertaining screenshot. But
with your eyes closed, Chris, just so you know.
Thank you.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be the first one to fall asleep on us, I can assure you.
The only, I don't know if you caught the audio, but
yes,
if I was a betting man, that stanchion's being replaced. That thing.
Oh my God.
Looking at this series, I can't help but notice, we played a clip before, Lindy Ruff kind of complaining to the league, almost like getting in the ear of, hey, I'm worried that they're embellishing. Do you think that you can affect the reffing, that coaches can actually sort of swing things a little or bias them in any way before a game?
Well, I hope so, right? They're humans too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, leaning on them in an aggressive manner, but, I always took the approach of like, hey, we're going to see this guy at some point down the line here, like kill him with kindness, and I think that's kind of how you don't really see Marty lay into these guys, and typically he doesn't speak publicly about it. So, personally, that's the approach that I think makes a lot of sense. But, again, emotions are running high at this time of the year. And, some of the calls in the last game, are they 50-50 calls? Probably, but don't put yourself in that position, right? You give the ref an opportunity to make a call. He's going to make the call. And then there was a handful of them that were, for sure penalties. So it's, you get behind that thing, you're in a tough spot.
You're listening to Chris Wideman, who played under the Stars of Montreal, the Sens, Oilers, and Panthers. Last night, Chris, as far as the Avalanche were concerned, how surprised were you that they were able to muster a comeback of being down 3-0 when you face the likes of a Quinn Hughes?
You played the game a long time. Like you just could see it, right? Like It's like they make it a 1-goal game, and then they pan over to the bench, and the guys, it's like they saw a ghost, and you could feel it coming, right? And I think we've all been in that position where you're sitting on the bench, or you just get scored on, and guys are just kind of looking around, and nobody has the answer. That's exactly what happened. And then you pair that with Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, generational talents. Like it's not going to go your way. So was I surprised? Yes. Was I, blown out? Was I that surprised? No. Like that's those guys are that good, and they can make that happen.
So last one for me, just your thoughts watching this Carolina Hurricanes team, which hasn't lost in playoffs yet. Like, are they that dominant? Are they that good? Have they had soft competition? Where do you sit on? Like, I feel like they're destined for the Cup final, but I don't really know if they've just played no competition yet.
No competition's tough to say. But again, they've been around it for a couple of years now, right? They're a good team. They're well coached. I've always found it very difficult to play in their arena. I don't know that I've ever had a good night in there. I actually scored my first NHL goal there, but other than that, that's probably the only time I felt good walking out of that arena. So
Is that right?
I do think they're a good team. I do believe they are going to be a really difficult out for whoever gets through this series between Buffalo and Montreal. But yeah, I mean, it's, again, if you're Carolina, you feel really good, but you're taking 10 to 14 days off in between games, and you're going to have a scorching hot team to play against. And then if you get through them, you got to play, I guess, the winner of Colorado and, in my opinion, Vegas. So
Yeah.
It's tough.
You went on a pretty good playoff run with the Ottawa Senators. What would have almost 2 weeks off been like for you to come back from one series to another?
For that team of the ragtag bandits we had on that team, it would have been tough to play. We had a lot of fun with that team, and there was a big chunk of us that treated each playoff series win like they do in baseball, and had a nice little party. So I don't think that would have played out very well for our crew.
Kris, great stuff, man. Really appreciate your time to come on our show. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Kris Wideman.
I was actually thinking the Carolina Hurricanes thing, like it's too long. That stinks.
Why'd they start it so damn early?
Well, that was part of it. You get a double sweep, and you want to be healthy. You want all your guys, so that's good. But by day 3, like, I don't know about you. You skated today.
I did.
And for me, if I get out of the routine of doing anything for a week, it feels terrible when you get back to it. Like, it's hard. They're going to have to bag themselves multiple times.
It's not only that.
And you lose the
but
pace.
you need also, like, you got to practice and you got to bump each other.
Totally. You need to keep
have
that up.
You got to play a little hard. You got to have loose puck battles to step right in, depending on how late this series goes or when they can start the next one. You're going to get it. First of all, it's best of 3 right now between Buffalo and Montreal. You're going to hit a wagon.
Yeah.
Of a team coming in.
Yeah, that game 1 will be tough for them.
I do some of those like circuit workout things, and I was like, drop my membership, take a couple weeks off. The golf season started, and I went back yesterday. I almost puked. Like, I can't imagine they're going to go play the Montreal Canadiens in game 1 and chase them around. Obviously, again, you want to be healthy, but man, it is tough to simulate playoff hockey.
It's almost like they shouldn't have started this second round before the first
was happening.
Like I guess they were terrified of having a Saturday night off before, because it was the Sunday night, right, with the Habs and Lightning. So they wanted to have that Saturday night with the Flyers and Carolina game 1. You started early. You just speed it up, and like 11 days off is nuts.
They're going to feel healthier than they've ever felt.
Like, that's
until
crazy.
After the first game when they'll feel terrible.
It's the new Olympic break.
No kidding.
Quick Canucks thing, or
yeah, for sure. We got Aarif Dean, who covers the Avalanche, coming up in about 17 minutes. We'll get into more on their victory as they wait on Anaheim and Vegas. But in the meantime, news around the National Hockey League. Big news, obviously, the Vancouver Canucks officially naming Ryan Johnson their general manager, but also co-presidents in the Sedin twins.
Mm-hmm.
And my only question is...
Okay.
I think it's going to be the same question I have.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No. If they've got a budget for a president,
do they
split it in half, or do they both get a president's salary?
Yeah. I think if they were going to give a president $2
That's not
million,
the same question you have.
My question was, who has final say?
There's no such thing. They have one brain. It's in the cloud between them. There's
they're
a
just
moving
to keep
cloud.
cycling the decision like they did on the ice? Like, cycle it. Like,
right, I'm going rocks, paper, scissors.
There's no indecision between the two of them.
I don't think we've ever had co-presidents. That's a first, isn't it?
It has to be. I will say this. I know, talking a lot with Daryl Sutter, again, working on a book with him. When he ran Calgary, he hired his brothers in a variety of different roles, right? He had, I think, 3 or 4 of them on the staff. His theory was that they would be much more honest with him to a fault, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going to get, no one's holding punches. No one's going, being a yes man at that point. And
Literally, no one's holding punches, I bet.
No, yeah, totally. And now I know the Sedins aren't the Sutters, but I do think you have 2 people who will be, able to bounce it off each other without any egos or, power struggle. Who's really in charge? It could be healthy.
And the Ryan Johnson, like, they will report to the Sedins. So, like, this is real for the Sedins. This is you.
Not what Mats is doing.
It's not Mats.
You are in charge. People.
You're gonna have to fire people.
You're going to have to fire people. You're going to have to hold people accountable. You're responsible for amateur and your professional scouting staffs. Like,
If
they're
you're gonna be
going
around,
to work.
Yeah.
They're going to work.
But if you're going to be around, be around.
Right.
I support it.
They've been more involved with the Canucks
years.
than Sundin has been with the Leafs.
I think
right?
for 10 years, maybe, right?
That's what I mean.
Last 10 years.
So they would know the business in the front office and all that.
I do remember co-GMs in the National Hockey League. Do you guys remember co-GMs?
Who did that?
I want to say maybe it was 15 years ago.
Isn't it that
Dallas.
recent?
Dallas.
Is it Neuendijk?
Nope.
God, I can't get
You're-
there.
you're-
15 years ago is 2011.
I'm going to blow you away on this one. I'll tell you one of them, one of the most prolific goal scorers in the history
Brett Hull?
of our game. Yep.
No.
Brett Hull was a co-general
Craig
manager.
Janney, the other one?
Nope.
Who was it?
Adam Oates?
Les Jackson.
Sorry?
Tough guy. And hell of a scout.
Yeah.
They were co-general managers of the Dallas Stars just before Doug Armstrong showed up.
Is that right? How long did that tenure last? And what broke it up?
I think 18 holes a day.
Yeah, that might shock some division.
And coming to the
in there.
rink with a sunburn.
Yeah. Well, that also broke up his time in Arizona, right? if I recall.
We got to get Brett Hall back on the show.
Oh, we have to.
Love to.
I've texted him a few times, and he's always like, I'm golfing for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Check
He's got a
back
good
with
life.
me.
He's got a good life.
Check back with me in a year.
I want to come talk hockey for 20 minutes.
So yeah, I hope the Canucks are. I think they're in a good place. Like, they have all their picks. They are.
They're pretty deep in the hole, though.
They are.
At least they have a clear like,
They are Montreal.
I like the hire.
Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
I really like
They
the hire.
are 3-5 years of a major build.
Mhm.
But I think one of the big complaints from Canuck fans, at least ones that I've talked to and ones that are in my life, that the lack of direction and like the
And now
trying
they
to
have it.
scrape together enough points to get into the 8th spot for some home dates in the playoffs has always been the bugaboo of them. It's really annoyed them. So now at least you bring in 2 team legends. People love the Sedins.
You're going to draft
Drafting your
great player.
and you're
Probably a great forward, to be honest.
Totally.
Like one of Malhotra,
and
whatever their names
you
are.
have a
Stenberg,
clear direction
McKenna.
now. You stink and you're rebuilding.
Yeah.
So a lot of Canucks fans are getting what they've wanted for a long time. So it should. I mean, it's going to be a long time.
I think it's easier to sell tickets like that. You're selling
Totally,
hope. You see
man.
the young guys come. Okay,
100%.
Let's watch the build happen.
And when they trade Morgan Riley for Elias Pettersson, and they'll see Morgan Riley in there.
Sorry, what?
Pardon? Oh, did I say that loud?
You don't want that for real.
Part of me does, yeah.
Yeah,
Part of me does. I think there's more there. I don't know if it works here, but I think there's more there. With
more than
Pettersson.
not much though is
Yeah.
Well,
scary.
and that's
that money.
that. Now those decisions will fall ultimately in the Sedins' hands.
Well, but president is not supposed to be a hockey player decision
But
guy.
they what you think
Right.
they're there to like like for marketing?
Well, yeah, a president of an organization would manage that.
Yeah, we've had this. We've talked about this a million times.
If
that,
the
like,
GM's not the guy making player decisions,
They have to be there to weigh in, like Matt's, all their experience and their gut instincts and their ability to judge character, all of it has to be right there for them.
So now the GM has become the vice president somehow. You're a subservient. I don't know. I don't like them.
Well,
Muddies the water
what do you
with
think?
them.
Like, Toronto's kind of tricky too, right? Because Mats is
They have
reporting.
no president.
Mats is reporting though to John Chaika.
He doesn't report to anyone.
They have a general manager.
Well,
of hockey
that's the
operations.
order, though.
Yeah.
It's really. But then John Chaika won't make a trade. He's publicly already said that if Mats doesn't like it, it doesn't get done.
Wink, wink.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
that's where they got to come together and make that final decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should fall on the Sedins as co-presidents.
To me, they're like the rubber stamp of approval. You want to trade who for who? Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. I can see why you want to do that. Maybe you can nix a couple. Give me 2 nixes per year.
The question is Adam Foote going to continue to be the coach, do you think, next year?
It better be Manny Malhotra,
I-
considering my
I don't know
replies on Twitter.
how much.
You got Scotty Bowman in the minors there?
Apparently.
I don't know how much people were paying attention, but they played pretty hard, Vancouver, towards the end.
Totally.
He was, there's being dealt a bad hand. And then
But
then
It's so
he
funny
didn't
that-
have a goalie. He lost his
Yeah.
number one goalie. They're small up the middle. They need to get bigger and tougher. I think Pettersson likes Adam Foote. I think there's a lot of guys in that room respect Adam Foote,
Yeah.
and that has to hold. Has to hold something for
So
that organization.
I questioned Malhotra on Twitter. I just said, hey, they finished 29th this year. Can we talk about what happened here? And everyone was like, oh, they were hurt. They were injured. He didn't have players.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do? But then no one wants to extend that same courtesy to Adam Foote, whose
Correct.
team was also hurt, injured,
And
calling
and
up the
horrible.
American
Adam
Leaguers.
worked with Rick Tocchet. Rick Tocchet was a head coach too, if we can recall, right? He was behind the bench in Tampa, and he was he in Arizona?
What are you saying? Rick Tocchet was an assistant coach too? I missed the first point you made.
My point is Rick Tocchet was a coach prior to becoming this really good coach now in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And people were questioning Talk like they're questioning Adam Foote. Last time I checked, a lot of roses coming up around Rick Tocchet. I think the same thing's going to happen to Adam Foote.
Yeah, you think he's
I do.
got to
I think
make up.
he's going through the same period where people questioned Rick Tocchet earlier in his coaching career.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But he's got a great spot right now in Philadelphia, and I think Adam Foote can be that guy either in Vancouver or maybe even another team down the road.
So your gut instinct is that he won't be back, or he will be
He
back?
will.
He will.
He will.
Okay.
And again, much like I talked about Toronto, I don't see this need to go get another coach in Vancouver for a team that you're
Yeah.
It's
just
going to reek anyway.
starting out.
Yep.
But you got guys that know Adam Foote, respect him, and played pretty well at the end of the year. They could have all mailed it in and just died on the vine in the last week.
They kind of
They
did.
had 55
No.
points.
I'm talking about the last week and a half.
Yeah.
They played hard and they won some games. And that to me,
Did they?
go look at
I'm
I'm just saying it's too bad they won games because they
It didn't
could've-
matter. They were the
well,
last.
it didn't matter.
It doesn't
It was last.
but it says something about Adam.
matter.
It says something about Adam,
Yeah.
and it says something about the players who are playing for Adam. That's my whole point.
I think it's totally possible to have a pile of respect for the man and think that it goes better from here, and I don't think that's unreasonable. It is just jarring to go to this page, sort the league, and have them be 14 points behind
I know.
31st place, minus 100 goal diff. Tough
So
year.
in their last, they lost the last 2 weeks of the season. Lost to Vegas, lost to the Kings, beat the Sharks, beat the Ducks, beat the Kings.
Got hot in the Western
the
swing.
Sharks,
Yeah,
who are just
and then they lost
still in it.
Then they
Well,
lost.
the other
6
two
points.
teams are in playoffs. I mean, they
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyways,
Game time.
game time.
It's game time presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. As I mentioned in our first hour, Bet365 has been so courteous as to put up some numbers for the next Toronto Maple Leafs head coach. The favorite currently, according to Bet365, is Bruce Cassidy at plus 225. The next closest is a head scratcher at Bruce Boudreau at 4-1.
love Bruce.
I love Bruce. as a person.
To be the second highest likely guy seems unlikely.
I do like this name up there. David Carl at plus 550. John Gruden, which, it's just so funny that his name's John Gruden, one of the most famous NFL coaches, plus 550.
It's almost Jason Bourne.
Gerard Gallant, Malhotra. But then you go down the list. Kipper, you said you liked Halpern in the first hour?
I do think there's some promise there for sure.
Plus 2,500 for Jeff Halpern. If you wanted to bet on Doug Gilmour, John Cooper, or Peter DeBoer, or Ty Domi to be the next coach, they're all 50 to plus 5,000. So if you think
Excuse me, baking powder.
It's a great Wayne's World reference. I haven't thought of it 100 years. Anyways, there you go. So if you want to bet on who the next Leafs coach is, go to Bet365. That was Game Time presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. And a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne is brought to you by Bet365.
Okay, we take a quick break. When we return, plenty to still get into, including the Avalanche and closing out their series. Also some Team Canada talk around Crosby.
Yeah, love it.
Sammy's not too happy. We'll tell you why.
Sammy's indifferent. I'm bothered.
I don't care.
I'm bothered.
Bothered.
We're
going bothered after the break. On the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Don't go away. Welcome back in studio, Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne. What do you got for us, Sammy?
Time now for the Acura Performance matchup, the 2026 Acura MDX Precisely Premium. I was just looking up, I was looking at some stats for the game tonight between
Big stats guy.
the Anaheim Ducks and the Vegas Golden Knights. Beckett Seneca can become the third rookie in NHL history to record a 5-game goal streak in the playoffs, following Joe Mullen in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the name I was looking up, and I asked you guys if you had heard it before. Milan Marchetta in 1968.
Sounds like a great tennis player.
He played, in his career, 54 games. He was on the Cup team for the Leafs in 67, and then played 14 games for the Minnesota North Stars, and that was where he got it. In
He was on the Cup
1968.
team?
Yes. He was on the Cup team.
I don't
Played
think he
3
was.
games. Yes. It's an unbelievable. Hey, Kipper, have you ever heard of Milan Marchetta?
Never.
Never. I was blown away by that name.
Yeah, that is fascinating. I don't know. Did you happen to see Kevin BX's interview with Cutter Gauthier and Seneca?
I did.
It was really good.
Yes.
Like an insight. So those kids are kind of around his place in Anaheim.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
comfortable with
Yep.
him. And you can see them going back and forth at each other. And he was asking them, like, who you's going to have the better career? You know, Seneca or Gauthier? I think it's a real debate. Like, Gauthier's a shooter, but
Yeah.
Seneca's a player, man.
And that
He's
was a
hockey player
risky
all around.
pick for not a lot of people had Seneca going that high. Last thing quickly before we bring in Aarif. Mark Stone, Shea Theodore, and William Karlsson share the lead for the most points in potential series clinching games among the Vegas skaters on the active roster. 18 points for all 3 of those. They've played in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
25 games played for Mark Stone, 27 for Shea Theodore, 23 for William Karlsson. They've just been in the playoffs every single year, and they're always playing a lot. So, anyways, that was the Acura Performance matchup, the 2026 Acura MDX Precisely Premium.
Okay, let's bring in Aarif Dean, who covers the Colorado Avalanche, does a terrific job, host of Hockey Mountain High, and that's the Avalanche podcast. Aarif, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Nick.
Okay, so like, what the hell was that? How do you go down 3-0 to close out a game and then flip the switch? What did we watch last night?
We watched a hungrier Minnesota Wild team for 15 minutes and then 7 shots for 45 minutes. That's what we watched. It's we've seen a lot of this year. Covering the Avalanche this year has kind of been interesting because up until that 40th game of the season, like every game was like the last, 4 or 5 we've seen against the Minnesota Wild, where it's like the Avalanche have a chance to win every single night. It's just a matter of how they're going to get there, not if they're going to get there. And that was something we saw for the 2 regulation losses through the first 3 months of the season, and that's kind of what it's been since the trade deadline. This team is just insanely deep, very talented. They seem to be mentally. They have it like Nathan McKinnon yesterday. I think losing the way we did last year kind of set us up for this. And then he had the other quote, which was, I figured that was a long time for them to hold a lead on us. Like, what do you say when someone tells you that? Like, it's a special thing they have going on right now. And like, it just feels like they know that they can do it on any given night.
Yeah, that's really depressing when even when you get them down, you know that they don't ever think they're done. They're just going to keep coming. That's tough. The one thing that stood out in regards to them being Warriors is like Cale Makar pretty banged up last night. How concerned are we? That looked like shoulder to me, and that's scary.
Yeah, game 3, I went to talk to Cale Makar after the game, and you give him a second to take off their skates and their equipment and all that, and then he pulled a giant pad out of his shoulder that was like extra equipment under there. So it felt like it was shoulder all along, and it didn't take much in that collision with Matt Zuccarello to kind of re-aggravate whatever it is that is going on over there. But that is, in my opinion, is probably just going to be like that the rest of the way. They might have 4, 5, 6 days off here. And then it's going to be full steam ahead for Cale to continue to do that until we find out in sometime in the middle of June, late June, that, he's getting surgery or getting some kind of rehab done. him being out and him missing those shifts would hurt a lot less for the Avalanche when Sam Malinsky is back in the lineup, which I would imagine is probably going to be game one. But then there was this 41-year-old dude named Brent Burns that stepped in on the 6-on-5 and did the thing. Like it was, they just have like a luxury of riches. But that's not to say it. Like they need Cale Makar healthy or not, which I don't think he's going to be fully healthy. If I don't know how many guys actually are, but they're going to need him in the third round and beyond if they get that far.
You're watching and listening to Aarif Dean, covers the Colorado Avalanche for Mile High Sports. So is there a sense whether or not like this could be 4, 5, or 6 days, or are rinks locked in? Dates are set no matter what? What are you hearing on the scheduling?
So I haven't gotten a clear understanding yet, but it kind of seems like Sunday could be an opportunity if they do, like if Vegas wins tonight and they want to do that thing again where it's like Sunday is game 1, Monday is game 7 or whatever it is for the Montreal series. If that gets there, I would imagine Wednesday seems like the most likely. Because that would set you up in a situation where, or I should say Wednesday for the Eastern Conference probably, because I would assume they probably want Carolina to play first. But like under the assumption that Montreal Buffalo go 7, I can see that series ending. Well, that series would end on Monday, and then Montreal would go straight, or Buffalo would go straight to Carolina for game 1 on Wednesday, which would give the Avs Thursday, unless they want to start the Avs on Tuesday, which is also a possibility. But last year, I've been looking through the schedule. It looks like last year they took a day off between round 2 and round 3. The NHL did. And actually, it was Florida. Florida beat Toronto on May 18 and then had to play in the Eastern Conference Final on May 20th. So I can kind of see something similar to that. But ultimately, like, in any estimation, unless both of these series end in 6 games, I can't imagine we see any games until Tuesday. Very slight chance for Monday, but right. I think Tuesday, Wednesday seems like the most reasonable scenario, which is good for the Avs, even if it's Wednesday, even if it's Thursday. Like the more time, the better to get these guys healthy up and running, because they did it in 2022. They're doing it again this year. You know, their big thing is rest is a weapon, and no time off is going to affect them. They had 11 days off before game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final in 2022, and they beat Tampa twice in the first 2 games. So I think they will take any and all rest that they can get.
Yeah, it would need to be rested. That Carolina team certainly getting their share of it on the other side. So the reason they get a rest is Brett Kulak scores a big goal. Maybe of all the additions the Avs made this year, not the most highly praised, but boy, what a play and what an addition he's been.
He has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like in every aspect. His quote yesterday, did you catch the quote yesterday? The
birthday
I'm not
one?
the guy everyone's.
Oh no.
The no, the other one. The I'm not the guy that everyone's looking down the bench like, all right, go out there and go win it for us. Like he knows he's not that guy. First career overtime goal in the playoffs, first career game-winning goal in the playoffs, and I think it's his 4th career playoff goal in general in like 107 games. But defensively, like, not to dunk on the Edmonton Oilers, but like of all the defensemen that they traded, I genuinely don't understand how that was the guy they landed on. Like, he is exactly.
Yeah, we noticed.
Like that.
We
Yeah,
noticed, Aarif, for sure.
Like, he's exactly the kind of player a team like the Avalanche or even the Oilers need. Like, when you have the Sam Malinskis, the Cale Makars, the Devon Taves, like, that's the perfect complement. It's the same reason why they went out and got Josh Manson before their last Stanley Cup. It's like they had all these puck-moving guys that, yes, they play a two-way game, but when you have a dude that is committed to the defensive side of the game the way Brett is, I think Jared Bednar said it perfectly. Like, he's a guy that you can trust in any and all situations and know that he's going to go out there and not make any mistakes. Does he need to go out there and score an overtime game-winning goal? No, he doesn't. That's fun when he does, but he's just a guy that's going to go out there. Like, how many times did you notice him yesterday before the overtime game-winning goal? And then what if I told you he played 26-54? Like, he played more than Cale Makar.
Unbelievable.
Like, he's crazy. Like, when they first got him, I went back and looked, and one of those 2 runs with the Edmonton Oilers, he was leading their team with like 23 and a half minutes a night in the playoff.
Aarif, just one more for me before I let you go. And McKinnon. And earlier in our program, I kind of compared him wanting that puck to tie the game up much like Michael Jordan would want the ball in his hands in the last minute. Like he's done so many amazing things there, but where would like that kind of rank up in terms of the special things that we've seen out of Nate McKinnon?
It's up there. It's definitely up there because he even admitted it, and McKinnon hates those kind of questions. Like, where does this one rank on your list? But even he was in the moment yesterday when we talked to him post game about how much it meant to him and how much he loved that moment. And I just think there's a focus with this guy, unlike anything we've seen the last 3-4 years. And I think it's because like McKinnon is one of my favorite players to cover because he's so in tune with reality. Like when they lost to the Seattle Kraken that one year in Game 7, he came out post game and said like, look at our roster from top to bottom. We just don't have it this year. Like he did the Connor McDavid thing. Like we know when we're good, we know when we're not, and we're just not a good team this year. But he's also very in tune with the reality of like, he said it over the years, like, we didn't have Val Nichushkin for 2 playoff runs, late in the playoffs. We haven't had Gabe Landeskog in 3 years. This guy gets injured, that guy gets injured, our goaltending struggles, this happens, that happens. Everything about this year, and you'll remember the quote last year after Game 7 at Dallas, like, we were better, we outplayed them, not sure where to go from here. And it's like everything led up to this moment where it's like there's absolutely no excuses anymore. Nazem Kadri's your third line center. Nick Waugh's your third line winger. Your fourth line is unbelievable. Gabe Landeskog is miraculously 4 years ago. Gabe Landeskog, like Marty Necas is a 100-point guy. He's not some 75-point guy you got from Mikko. Like everything is added up to the point where there's no excuses, and he knows that, and it just feels like he's so locked into like, if we are losing, if something's not going right, like I want to be part of the solution. And especially in a game like that where you have your fourth line winger and your fourth line center score the first 2 goals, like, yeah, I'm the superstar. Like, let me get us over the hump. They got us 2/3 of the way there. It's up to me to do that. And you can tell, he's the Michael Jordan thing. Like, I want to be the one to take that shot.
Right.
Aarif, great stuff, man. Enjoy the Western Conference Final. Appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely, Nick. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Aarif Dean.
Yep.
I love Nathan McKinnon.
Who's going to stop him?
No one.
Well, in the West, no one.
No, Cale Makar hurts a lot. If he's 60%,
Yeah.
that changes things.
That does. They need Makar, right? Their D's not unbelievable. With Makar, it's very, very, very good.
The Kulak thing, it's one of my favorite things about playoff hockey in general. And there's not a lot of sports where this is like that. Like, for example, basketball, it's going to be LeBron James or whoever with the puck
you
ball
never
in
have the 11th guy on the bench.
Pat
He's
Mahomes
so
is going to be
important.
making the biggest decision at the end of the game. Baseball, it can happen where a guy has a huge moment where it's at the bottom of the order, he comes up.
Like a Roja or something.
Oh, God, like that.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay.
We're going to talk about it to
We're
get through
We're
it.
healing.
You got a hat out of it.
I don't listen. I think that the moment where it's like a butcher defenseman, a guy that just plays defensive hockey, like last year in Game 3, Leafs versus Sens, it's Simone Benoit who shoots it in the net.
Winner.
Okay, I teed up before the break.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get to this before we're off the air. Okay,
You're waving me off like a Carlos Fabulous over
I just want to just make sure I get this in. It's okay that Sidney Crosby's not the captain.
No, it's not.
of
Totally
the
agree.
World
No, it's not.
Championship.
I agree.
No, it's not. What are we doing? This is the ultimate like overthink. It's like, hey, maybe give it to the greatest leader the country's ever had. Oh, he's going to be the captain. Okay, well then let's just wait till he is.
But when is he
Why
going to be
add-
the captain? McDavid's going to be the captain for the next 10 years.
And then it'll be him.
Yeah, like he'll have plenty of practice being a captain. But like I don't know. I think it's
I'm
weird
not-
to take it off of.
They named him.
Yes.
You don't go back on that
Correct.
because
Why? You're making it up as you go. Be like, oh,
No,
Sid's here.
no,
And be like, yeah, no
you know-
kidding. Of course
no,
it's Sid.
giving it to Sid is making it up as you go.
Yes, make it up as you
no,
go.
No. Look like you had a plan. I don't think Sid just dropped in their lap and he just decided.
No, you think they knew he was coming and like Celebrini's a captain more than
I think they
him?
knew there was a chance that he was coming, and they still did the captain.
Well,
to
then they
Celebrini.
shouldn't have.
Agree. But I don't care that much because they're still both going to be there and like
It is the most
Okay.
like I am smarter than, I'm going to what if he's going to be the guy eventually? So
Sid cares.
I don't think anyone cares.
I think
except
Sid.
me.
I think Sid goes. I'm not
How
going to
many
be the
games
guy.
are you even going to watch?
You know
Yeah,
what?
none.
This is if Sid wanted it, he'd have it. Sid doesn't want it. No, I'm telling you, Sid doesn't want it.
It's just a polite off.
Sid-
We're having a polite
It's the most
off.
Sid-
Canadian thing ever.
Sid-
You eat the last pierogi.
Sid, I'm telling you right now, Sid went there and said, I'm coming, but if you give me the captaincy, I'm not coming.
Oh, get out of here.
No
you don't know squat
way.
about that.
100%.
You don't know squat.
way.
100%.
How do you know
Sometimes you know
that?
If
stuff. you
Sid
don't know a
wanted the
damn
captaincy,
thing.
Come on.
he would get it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He doesn't want it.
Well,
he doesn't want to be that guy.
He doesn't want to be difficult.
He doesn't know. He doesn't
He's not
want
a
to be
diva.
that guy.
He's not a diva. He's like, whatever.
That's
I'll
right.
wear an A,
And
it's
that's
fine.
what makes Sid
But
so great.
Guess what? He shouldn't be the one making the decision.
Exactly.
Whoever's in charge, if it's our boy Getzlaff or whatever,
Sid
be like,
gets to make the decision. Okay, because he's Sid.
okay.
Oh,
I did get fired up about this.
Eventually, Celebrini going to be our best player. So Ryan O'Reilly, the Stanley Cup winning captain, and
I don't
Sidney
care
Crosby,
whether
the
it's right
greatest
or
captain.
wrong. It's a decision you don't go back on.
Okay.
It makes you look like you don't know what you're
No,
doing.
it makes you look like you're getting it right.
Yeah.
People who change their mind are smarter than people who dig in and get stubborn.
Oh, God, we're all idiots then.
All right. Hey, is today the anniversary of one of the greatest comebacks in the third period, Game 7?
It was yesterday. Bud.
Oh, it
You
was
saw it
yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Okay, I'm
What
just
happened?
asking
Yeah,
you,
it was
Sam.
Game 7 Leafs.
I'm just asking our Sam.
It was 4-1 game?
I thought it was today, the
No,
anniversary.
It was yesterday, May 13th.
How
Just
come,
thought-
how come
just
you didn't
thought
bring
you
it
did
up
one in.
yesterday then? If I
Why didn't I bring it
Yeah.
up? Is that a serious question? Is that a serious question?
Do we want any of these clips before we go?
No, I don't.
No, we don't?
No, we don't care about those.
Okay. So we got Stan Bowman on the Cassidy report.
Oh my God, I got to tell you, Stan Bowman, man, he could go to the Bob Stauffer School of being more interesting. Like,
well, I think it's good to just
I was listening to that.
not
and
say
he-
anything
he's the
controversial.
I
teacher
was really
in,
surprised. Okay, go ahead.
he's the teacher in Ferris Bueller. I'm trying to listen to him. I'm like,
Were you surprised that Staff said that was an issue
Uh,
publicly?
I think
Bueller?
it's a fair. I think it's a really good observation.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that Bob said he's going to be the one to tell him, but I do think it is a very good point. And look,
No, it was an issue.
the Paul
in the room.
Maurice blow up when before the Panthers
Yeah.
turned it
Famous.
around was famous. It turned their season around.
every time the camera flashes the Knoblauch,
Yeah,
just never any emotion.
turn it up. Got to match Connor's pace. Dig in.
Dig in.
Oh,
All right,
come
just like
on.
that.
That's your boy.
I love
2
it.
hours and solved nothing.
Oh, Leaf line tomorrow. 416-413-4141. 416-413-4141.
Our thanks to Bob Stauffer, Chris Wideman, and Aarif Dean. Hey, what's up tomorrow? Mac?
No, dude, I'll text Mac. Maybe he'll come on.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You get a chance, give us a rating and review. We'd love to hear from you. Thumbs up on YouTube. Have a great night, everybody. Go Montreal.